I have a few Sachin moments. Uh, I think one of them is when he went past Brian Lara's 11,953 runs to become the highest run scorer in Test cricket. That was pretty special. There are a couple of others from Basin Reserve in Wellington when the Indian team was touring New Zealand in 2009. I flew down there because till that point of time I had never seen or never watched the Indian team in a stadium. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to go and watch Sachin and Rahul, given that they might be retiring very soon. So that was a special trip. Um, as a memento, I have this cricket ball with Rahul's sign on one side, and this is particularly special because there is Sachin's sign on the other side of the ball. Rahul's sign was relatively easy to get. A day before the test match, he was coming off of his fielding drills, and I got him to sign the ball. Sachin was virtually impossible to get anywhere near him. Wherever he would go, there would be hordes of people following him, including the journalists. So I couldn't get his signature on that day. Day one of the test match, there was a funny incident. I was so excited to be at the Basin Reserve watching a test match with India in it. Um, I was there 2 hours ahead of time, and I was at the ticket counter. The counter was still closed, and there were only 4 or 5 of us. I was the only Indian, and a green bus, came and stopped near us, and that reminded me of the Australian system where on the day of the game, the public transport is free to get people to the stadium, and I thought New Zealand had a similar thing. So I didn't really pay attention, and I was sort of looking at the bus with a glassy-eyed look, and I suddenly realized there was someone waving at me from inside the bus. And for a second or two, I was thinking, well, nobody really knows me in New Zealand, so why is anyone waving at me? And then it struck, it was Sachin Tendulkar who was waving at me. And for a second or two, as soon as I realized it was Sachin, I I immediately went into this state of shock and trance, and I didn't know what to do. Skipped a couple of beats, and then I snapped out of it. I rummaged through my bag, got my camera out, and by this time, Sachin, I had heard that he's the first one to get off the team bus, and indeed on that day he was the first one to get off the bus. He had this massive earphones, and he walked and he led the team into the ground. The rest of the team followed him. That was a very special moment. Sachin waving at me rather than me waving at Sachin. So that was awesome. But mind you, I still didn't have my signatures, so I couldn't get any signatures off of him on that day. Day two, early morning again. We are there before the game has started, and the Indian team has just finished their drills, and they formed a queue and they are coming in, uh, and we are all lined up near the entrance where the players are going in, and we got signatures from Yuvraj and Harbhajan and Zahir Khan. And I noticed Sachin was towards the end of the queue, and he was sort of a little further away from where I was. And I noticed he had signed a couple of autographs, and he looked in a bit of a rush to go into the dressing room. And I thought, as I watched him walking away, I thought, this is it. If I don't get his signature now, I'm not going to get his signature again. So I called out to him, Sachin. And in that moment of desperation, I called out to him, and he heard me, luckily, and he turned around, he looked at me. I had my hands waving at him, I wasn't sure if he would come towards us or not, but he did, and I handed over this ball to him, and he signed. And the great thing about that moment is, well, not only the fact that Sachin responded to my call, that was awesome. The fact that there were 10 other people beside me with their things out to Sachin to sign. Sachin obliged every one of us, and that tells us about his devotion to his fans. He did not disappoint even a single person who had his or her hand held out for his autograph. And I would like to end this short video by quoting one of the mystics, one of the saints from 15th century India, Kabir Das. He had a doha couplet which is very apt for Sachin Tendulkar. So the doha goes something like this: कबीरा जब पैदा हुए जग हंसा हम रोए ऐसी करनी कर चलो हम हंसे जग रोए. So what Kabir Das, this mystic, is saying is, when a baby is born, the baby weeps, the baby is crying, but the world around him, they are full of joy and laughter that this new baby has come into this world. And what he is asking the baby to do is, he's telling the baby, live your life in such a way, do such good deeds, that when it's your time to leave the earth, you are smiling, but the world around you is weeping in anticipation of the void that will be left behind when you leave the earth. And I think it's very apt for Sachin Tendulkar, the way he has lived his life, both on and off the cricket field. In a few days' time, when he retires, when he leaves the cricket for good, there will be a few moist eyes. And the reason for that is Sachin's life has been an inspiration not only for cricketers and sports people, but people from all walks of life, because of the qualities that Sachin has: the single-minded devotion, uh, the undivided attention towards attaining uh, perfection, to go for one's dreams. Those are generic, beautiful qualities that a person can have, and definitely worth emulating. So it has been a great honor and privilege to watch Sachin as I was growing up, to watch Sachin live his cricketing life. So thank you, Sachin. It has been an honor.